Hi, this is an explanation for week 5. This week's topic is teaching and learning with informational, persuasive, and narrative text. You're viewing the video to explain the week, so that's the first activity. Our second activity, as you know, is a social emotional learning activity. This week you're going to select one of the social emotional culture anchor competencies, which is found in this tan circle, just as a reminder. And you're going to pick one of the 8, and then you're going to take a look at the teacher moves for which is in the green teal like circle, the outer circle here, and you're going to pick some of the teacher moves and the resources you explored last week in the guide, which you'll find below. You're going to share your thoughts and feelings of one of the anchor competencies and how you might begin to teach it to students. As you remember, we've been talking about this and you have been learning more about this. You're going to teach social emotional learning curriculum as part of your daily routines, practices, which you're going to embed in your instruction. And you know, as I've said before, the research has indicated that when kids learn social emotional learning, they will do better, they'll be successful in their academics, more so than if they did not participate and learn the social emotional learning, the social emotional cultural learning competencies. So you're going to think about where would you embed it in your instruction? Will it happen during your morning meeting when you're bringing your group together to build on community relations and inclusivity in regards to getting all your kids together and becoming a learning community? Will you build it during the day in some of your instruction? Will it be in your practices and routines? Will you have a class meeting, maybe sometime during the day or once a week, where you'll discuss a social emotional learning activity or an issue and work with them on that so they learn more about that? What activities lend the instruction and reinforcement to the anchor competency? How might you assess your intentions of teaching that anchor competency in the classroom? You're going to post all that information about that one anchor competency and how you're going to go about teaching it in the Google Doc that you can click on right here, reflected on teaching in the social emotional culture anchoracy competencies in the classroom. You'll also read chapters 7 and 8, which is the topic this week, teaching with informational, persuasive, and narrative text. You're going to take a look at literal, inferential, and critical comprehension. How does social studies affect students' literal, inferential, and critical comprehension? How does the teaching of social studies help those skills? You're going to explain how these levels of comprehension can be supported in the social studies classroom, and then you're using evidence from the chapters and any sources that you might have researched along the way to show how the social studies classroom can indeed benefit, our students can benefit from literal, inferential, and critical comprehension. And last but not least, you're going to take a look at biographies. You're going to select one of the websites in the list and respond to the questions about the website chosen. You'll see the websites and the questions in the document here below. So you just need to click on that and you'll find the information you need that you'll respond this week to. Those are the independent activities. We do have one group activity, which is really a partner, or if you're in a group with 3, you'll have 2 partners, but each group will develop an annotated biography of trade books. Trade books are children's literature, books that, non-fictional or fictional, as social studies resources. You're going to use the following genres: historical fiction, folk tales, fantasy, and poetry for your annotated biography. So you have 4 categories. You have 4 members in the group. You're going to locate 5 books that the genre to use in your social studies resources. And sometimes it may not be as easy as just typing in fantasy for social studies. You may have to take a look at some fantasy books and see how you would use those in a social studies classroom, and then you can post those as the books you're considering using in a social studies classroom as part of your annotated biography. So you're going to develop an annotated biography. You're using APA style, 7th edition. You're going to find an image for the cover of the book. You're going to share what the genre you think it is, and you're going to have a brief synopsis of the book. And then you also need to include how the book you selected is a resource. Your group is going to put that all together so you have all 4 genres within one document, and try to find maybe a creative way to present that other than a Prezi or a PowerPoint, a Google slide, or I'm trying to think of something else. But so try to find maybe a different way. There's a lot of different websites out there. There's a lot of different apps you can use on different Web 2.0 tools. And try to see if you could come up with a creative way for your group to post that information. And that is your group work this week. That is all the work that needs to be done for week 5, at least in the weekly activities. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. Otherwise, I'll see you online.